move ahead with business process analysis. So our context is a software project. Your project will have one or more processes. There will be some key processes. Say, for example, in a food delivery app, one very key and very important process is basically to order food. Yet another process for the food delivery partner is to accept that he is going to pick up the order and he is going to deliver the order. For the restaurant, a process would be to list the restaurant onto the portal. Daily activities for them may be to include, say, the availability on and off time for the whole restaurant and for individual menu items. So a project will have multiple processes, some very core and very critical, some add-on processes. So as a business analyst, you need to focus on business process analysis. This is your key skill. And one of the outputs which you come up with are basically what are known as business process models or flow charts, which are visuals of how the process flows. Today, when digital transformation projects are being taken up across so many industries, first step for this digital transformation activity is to conduct the business process analysis, what the current processes are. And then we propose how these processes can be transformed one after another, leveraging information technology and leveraging digital infrastructure. So a business process is a collection of related structured activities or tasks that produce a specific service or a product. So in simple words, let us say you go to a bank and you withdraw cash. That is a process. Let's say we are to purchase an insurance policy for our automobile. So we may be providing them some information. They may documents. They may inspect our vehicle also. We have to make the premium payment. So all these steps form a process. So processes have steps. Processes have goals. Software automate processes. So for a business analyst, while you capture requirements, these requirements or these business goals will get translated into software processes. So you have to identify each of these steps. So every business process, irrespective of the business domain, has got common attributes. For your business domain, you have to be aware of the processes related to your domain. Because you see, with time, when you will gain experience, people would like to leverage your experience. And you will also command a higher position and a higher salary in the market. So processes have one or more steps. Processes have goals. Processes achieve certain result for the customer. So say, for example, for the food delivery process, final goal for the customer is to receive food items which he has ordered. The goal for the food delivery partner is to basically accept that he is going to collect the delivery and deliver and finally deliver it to the customer. Restaurant's goal could be that the restaurant gets paid and finally they get a high rating on their delivery. So we identify process steps. We identify process. While the process will proceed in individual steps, we will identify the scenarios where the process will branch. What happens when, what are the options? So all this is processes. So you can see a typical cash withdrawal process from an ATM could have these 8-9 steps. With some other bank, with some other ATM, there could be a variation in the process. But remember, a process will have a goal, A process will have repeatable steps, it will consume some resources, and it will generate some value. This is something which is very basic. Let's learn some vocabulary. Input. Processes have inputs. So, for a food delivery process, the input is basically the choices which the person is making. And so many other inputs all through. Output. So, output is basically the screens which this output is in terms of new screens, new reports, etc. Processes have rules. So, say for example, one rule could be the time in which the process is available. Yet another rule could be, say for example, age of the person who can carry out the process. Processes have notifications. So, a notification is, say for example, you withdraw cash, you get an alert or a notification that cash withdrawal has been done. Validation. So as we carry processes through software screens, there are some input validations. Processes have goals. Processes consume resources. So you need to identify the resources. Processes could have constraints or bottlenecks. Say, for example, a constraint for a process could be, let's say, the availability of the process. For some location, there could be a constraint that, say, let's say if the electricity has to be available for an ATM machine, and there is a power cut, planned power cut for 2 hours during the day. Processes have a throughput. Processes have design. So someone has to design this process to be carried out. Processes have scenarios. At times, we may redesign the process. We optimize the process for improvements. So optimization is marginal improvement. Sometimes we just automate the process. We remove all the manual steps. Processes can be visualized or modeled. Processes can be simulated. So simulation is basically simulating the same process via a computer program. Mapping and flow charting. Then there are concepts like disintermediation, centralization, as is and to be, etc. We will be learning these concepts right away. So remember, utilizing the software, the end users will carry out processes. A process could be something like reserving a ticket using a ticket booking portal, ordering food, withdrawing cash from some other software. So processes have goals, and very important thing about the process is that the process will have repeatable steps. The design of the process will ensure that there are repeatable steps, and then within these repeatable steps, there could be scenarios. What if you provide the wrong PIN for your ATM machine? Let's say if you are taking out cash, trying to withdraw cash. So these are all scenarios. So business process analysis is very important activity for you as a business analyst, because your software will comprise of so many processes. Now let us focus on some concepts related to advanced business processes. These are some concepts which you need to learn: business process reengineering, business process design, business process redesign, business process simulation, optimization, automation, disintermediation, centralization, localization, etc. So these are some additional concepts which we need to focus upon. Let's start. Business process reengineering can also be called as business process redesign or business process transformation. In the 90s, early and mid 90s, Professors Hammer and Champy came up with the book Reengineering the Corporation. And in this book, they said that business process reengineering is fundamental rethinking and radical redesign of business processes to achieve dramatic improvements in critical modern measures of performance, such as cost, quality, service, and speed. So you fundamentally rethink your process and you carry out that process in a very different manner. And the objective is to ensure that the cost, quality, service, and speed, we have radical improvements in these fronts, one or more. So radical improvement is different than a marginal improvement. A marginal improvement could be 5-6% of improvement. A radical improvement could be something like 5%, 35%, 40% of improvement. Can anyone remember or has anyone observed a process which has changed in a very dramatic manner of late? Now put on your process analyst hat. Every day we are, you see, carrying out so many processes, utilizing our mobile apps and utilizing our computers. Have you observed a process which has changed in a very dramatic manner and which has led to, say, a beneficial situation for all the stakeholders? Who will speak? Or rather, I will start with a simple question. What is one business process which you have carried out since yesterday? Shubham?
There are many business processes, like I booked a flight ticket through
Okay.
an app from phone.
Many. So you see, now you should always observe whenever you book a flight ticket or you purchase a book using, say, Amazon or purchase a grocery, identify the steps, identify the goals, identify the scenarios. This is how you should do it. Okay. Ahmad, what is one process which you carried out since yesterday?
I've ordered something on eBay.
Okay. Now, could you remember the steps which were there to complete your activity?
Uh, like I had to send a payment out, and then
But
order
now
an item, send a payment out, and now waiting for the delivery, right?
delivery. Okay. So you see, now you are thinking in terms of a business analyst. Some business analyst has basically designed this process. Then the development team has basically come up with the software program which ensures that all this can be accomplished using a software. So, Ashish, what is one process which you have carried since yesterday?
I carried a couple of processes. First, I ordered something on Walmart Plus app. So it provides you the option, to get the product delivered to your home rather than picking up, going to Walmart physically. So I chose the department I was willing to choose from, then chose my products, my stuff I wanted to buy, and then made the payment using Walmart Pay app. And it also provides you the leverage, that single payment click. Like you've already been registered on the app through your credit card. You don't need to remember your CVV or
Yep,
security
yep.
again. You just hit the payment, and payment will go through.
Yes, at times you see this is so convenient. Out
Yeah.
here
Yep.
in so single payment is out here in India when we use UPI Lite, and now UPI the upper limit for UPI Lite is rupees 1,000, something like you see $12.50. So many items we can just purchase with a single click,
Yeah.
and it is so
Here there is no upper cap. I can buy items even for $500, $600. And India, I know that there's an upper cap to buy with single sign or
single
single
click.
payment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Single click. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Mrinalini, What has been your experience? Which process have you carried out?
So it is same as the others. I bought something from Amazon. You have to
Okay.
select what you want to buy and the like the
Now,
quantity of the stuff that you have to buy.
now you see your process which you have carried out would have given you multiple options. And depending upon the choice, the process could have moved to a different scenario. Say, for example, Amazon provides an option whether you would like to have a delivery, quick delivery or a regular delivery. At times, they also ready to, for some customers, they are ready to club deliveries, multiple deliveries at your preferred date and time. Then you see the process would have given you options about the payment mode, whether you would like to pay via a credit card or whether you would like to pay via a UPI, etc. So at every step there are options which are basically process scenarios. So and as the process will proceed, there will be situations when you can only opt one of the many available options. So good that now all of us are thinking in terms of processes, because for your project, there will be so many processes. Now coming back to my original question, what is one process which you would have seen in last few years, which has, you see, changed dramatically? Sometimes you see change is so continuous that even though the change has happened in a radical manner, we think that this has always been the situation. Anyone, if you are able to tell? If not in last 2-3 months, I can tell you in last 10 years, the process to book, say for example, a cab or a taxi has changed altogether because new platforms and new services have come up. Process to open a bank account. Now I can do video KYC and I can open a bank account from my home. Process to get a new mobile SIM, which now gets activated in 30 minutes time, is now very different. So the world around us is changing. Only thing is, once the change has happened, we think as if this is the new normal and this has been always the case. So business process reengineering is all about radical change, very different change, involves new work strategies. You have to think in all the areas, complex, technological, human, and organizational dimensions. Say, for example, I give you an example here. Earlier, some 5-7 years earlier, a company like TCS, Tata Consultancy Services, they were conducting campus placements for their recruits. But then somewhere in 2018, what they did, they started to conduct online tests to recruit engineering graduates. What happened? They had a larger span. Instead of going to only 35-40 engineering colleges, now they can touch upon 200 plus engineering colleges. Because of online tests, they were able to process applications faster. Because of the online test, earlier they have to spend money going to the campus and they have to basically be at other person's premise. Here, instead of this being a cost center, it became a profit center because you charge for this online test fee. So we can say that campus recruitment process by Tata Consultancy Service has been re-engineered. At the core of this re-engineering activity is basically the online test engine which a TCS subsidiary has prepared. And this online, and you could see TCS Recruitment 2018, the IT Giants IT service receives 2.8 lakh applications for engineers for an online exam. And since this is the software which TCS is selling to other clients, there is a cliche which says TCS is eating its own breakfast. So in Silicon Valley, there is this saying that we eat our own breakfast. This means Oracle will say, not only I am selling Oracle database to my clients, out here within my own organization, we are running our HR services and our corporate information systems on Oracle. So this is this, we eat our own breakfast. Business process redesign. Now, similar to business process reengineering is business process redesign. Again, focus is on cost reduction, time reduction, better output quality, and better quality of work life. And for this, everyone please keep yourself on mute. And for this, you see, Thomas Davenport has written a paper. What he says that I didn't develop large vision. What is our vision for process redesign? Identify. Now you may not redesign all the processes in your organization. You may be identifying some key processes. You may be redesigning them. There has to be a measurement. Then main thing is this: identify IT levers. How IT can be leveraged to come up with a better process experience in lesser cost, in lesser time, etc. So innovation sometimes is what is known as technological innovation, sometimes is what is known as business innovation. So a process or a redesigned process which leads into significant improvements will leverage IT, but it could be business innovation also. Small changes can, you see, small changes can make your customer happy. I'll tell you an example, though this is not a recent feature. It has been available for quite some time, but still I'll tell you. Even small changes, if you understand your customers, even small changes will help. I am telling you a link. I am sharing with you a link. This is my, let's say I am selling some services. And now for these services, there is not a single price. So price is subject to good amount of variation and good amount of discount. PayPal service, which I use for my overseas students and overseas clients, has given me an innovation which was not there earlier, say earlier than 2017. What does it does? It has given me a link, www.paypal.me/my name / whatever amount I write here, whether I write 500 or whether I write 400, this becomes this web page becomes a receipt, and you can also choose the currency. See here, I am going to demonstrate this to you. Now for the client, this is business innovation, and it is a new way to basically generate an invoice on the go and receive the payment. For PayPal, while they extend this service to the client or a new process so that price, which is not a very fixed price, on the go invoices can be generated for PayPal. If the payment happens here, they also get a commission. So they are providing a service. So let's see. So see if what happens if I write this here. See what happens if I change this to, say, 1000. So when we say business process analysis, it could be as simple as this. Even this currency could be changed. It is not that this currency is not subject to change. Even this could be changed. So could you, for the customer, it is something which is so easy. For the company, this is something like a business innovation. So for PayPal, it is you can't call it as technological innovation. So if you understand your client's requirement, you will be able to come up with better processes. Please understand this. We were here. No, not here, sorry. We are here. Different processes will lead to, so there are some processes which are, you see, marginal improvement. There are some processes which are, you see, breakthrough improvements. This availability of an online link is something which is marginal improvement. This is not breakthrough improvement. Breakthrough improvement was when PayPal provided me a service so that I can receive US dollars quick and easy. Business process disintermediation. So disintermediation is the removal of the middleman. Sometimes you can, utilizing internet, if you remove the middleman, processes can be optimized. Say, for example, you can purchase an insurance policy online. So insurance agent is not involved. Sometimes you see, you can directly order a merchandise from a warehouse. You need to a traditional shopkeeper. Maybe you get the merchandise from the convenience of your home at a lesser cost. So wherever there are intermediaries which are involved, you can remove them leveraging internet. This activity is called as business process disintermediation. Having said that, there is something which has happened in the internet era, which is what we call as business process re-intermediation. What is happening? Many intermediaries, they come up with a marketplace or a platform, and then what they do, because they are so well known on the internet, and because they build up a marketplace where you can compare goods, so things get re-intermediated. For example, it was when the internet came up, it was said that the insurance agents will be out of the picture and people may be able to buy insurance policies via internet. If not all of them, for many of them, this could be an alternative channel. But think of a service like platform like policybazaar.com in India. So they have come up with a platform. On that platform, they have ensured all the insurance companies are selling their products. Because you see, it is very easy for individuals to go to one portal and compare. And then they are also advertising their portal. And today they have taken insurance advisor or insurance agent's license also. So, or let's say there is a telecom bill which is to be paid for the mobile phone. Earlier, we were, you see, paying directly to the mobile company. Today, there are intermediaries like, say, for example, Paytm in India. This app, we may make a payment through that app. While we make a payment through that app, while they're with their wallet, I am sure there are some benefits which Airtel has to cede, the telecom service provider has to cede to this mobile app. So re-intermediation is also happening. This intermediation is good, and at times re-intermediation is good. In India, there have been so many platforms which have come up to compare cars. Now, car is a high ticket item, valuable, an important purchase, an important decision, does not happen every day. So while the automobile companies are still dreaming and some of them have offered that they will sell their automobiles via a digital gallery or a internet portal, that's fine. But comparison companies like cardekho.com and so many other companies have come up wherein you see you can compare automobiles across various companies. Now these platforms are re-intermediaries. So disintermediation, re-intermediation, process redesign, process re-engineering, then process centralization or localization. Sometimes some business processes are centralized for economies of scale. Let us say availability of an expert. Say there is a home loan company. What they do, they are basically collecting the home loan applications all through multiple places in the city, and then they are providing, doing underwriting at one place where experts are available. In India, there is a central processing center which basically processes income tax returns. So this is also business process centralization or localization. So with this, we have covered, in this session, we have covered two things: basics of a business process and some business process analysis concepts. Now with this, I open the session for any kind of question, discussion, observation, or comment. Next week, while we will move ahead, we will get into some real activity wherein we will be taking up business process modeling and process flow charting. So, but for now, just focus on concepts. And remember, our concept, our context is that we are a business analyst working on an IT project. This IT project will have requirements and goals. These requirements and goals will come via our stakeholders. We have to align with our stakeholders. And since we are implementing an IT project, these requirements will be accomplished through processes. Processes will have steps: input, output, scenarios, will consume resources, will have a goal. And then while we do business process analysis, we can utilize concepts like business process reengineering, business process disintermediation, business process reintermediation, which is basically happens many a times by platform companies, business process centralization, etc. So these are some of the concepts. Now I open the class for discussion, comment, question, observation, etc. Please speak. Yeah, everyone, please put up your questions. You can even write. Okay. One by one, I will ask you, and then we will close the session. Shubham?
As of now, I have no other questions, but I guess in the later chapters, I might have few.
Okay, so you
I-
will
I
you will
have one
receive this.
get
You
the
will
approval.
receive this recording also. Number one. Number two. Now you should start to observe these IT processes. Not all of them, but you should be good in at least 2-3 processes, especially those processes which are related to your employer.
Okay.
Ahmad,
Yes.
do you think
Uh,
some new concepts have come to you in this session, business process analysis?
yes. I at this point I do not have any questions, but I'll go through the class later and I'll come back to you with questions if I have any.
Okay. Ashish?
Same thing. I mean, so as of now, I have no questions, but uh, if I may have, I'll be in touch with you.
Welcome. Mrinalini? Okay, so we stop now. These recordings will reach your mailbox automatic. Just in case there is some issue, don't wait even for say something like 24 hours. Let me know. I will share the details. We remain connected and we meet again next week. But don't wait for the communication for the next week. Please remain connected. So I am closing the session now. Bye-bye. Thank you.